And my first question is, do you have any connection to Sweden? Yeah.
My son and I uh wanted we did we've done a couple of father-son trips. And probably about, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that. I called him up. I said, "Hey, how about a father-son trip?" And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." And I said, "Where do you want to go?" And he said, "I want to go to Hamburg and Stockholm."
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah, I know it was pretty random. I'd never been to either place, so we went and we loved it. Oh my God, we I had one of the best meals of my life in Stockholm. It was I wish I could remember the name of the restaurant, but it was everything was kind of wood fired or wood baked or wood, and you could smell the wood. It was very smoky, and it almost and a lot of the cuisine was kind of kind of Viking Viking
Oh
cuisine.
yeah, yeah. I think I know the place. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
in the old town.
yeah,
Yeah,
and we sat at the counter, near so we could see the kitchen and the ovens and stuff, and it was just amazing, amazing.
you were also a guest on a Swedish talk show back in the day called Sunday Party. It was broadcast live from New York. It was back in 2009. Do you have any
Okay.
memory of that?
No, no. Sunday party. Okay. Can I see it on YouTube? Is it embarrassing?
No, it's not embarrassing. They had like Swedish guests and American guests and tried to make like a late night show, but for Swedish audiences.
Okay.
And you were part of it, but maybe
Oh,
did make an impact.
well, I've done a lot of talk shows, so as you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
imagine.
of
Yeah.
course. So, The Toxic Avenger. It's a very special kind of movie. How would you describe it to someone who doesn't know anything about it?
Well, this isn't even my description, but I do like it. Somebody can call it punk, and it kind of feels punk to me. Um, it's got this kind of irreverent, slightly anarchistic, uh, loud edge to it. And it's definitely about, sort of bucking authority and giving the finger to, you know, corporations and I think that's cool. Like
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
how much how many movies are made really with that kind of attitude. And it's funny and it's violent, it's gory.
yeah.
Um, and it's definitely it's dialed up. It definitely is like uh I don't I don't know how you define over the top. Because to me, like the it over the top kind of implies that it's something bigger than the movie can sustain, but I don't really feel that way about this movie. I think it's big because it needs to be big.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's your relationship with the older Toxic Avenger movies?
I really didn't wasn't it wasn't on my radar. I think probably if I think back to the 80s, first off, I was, off making my movies, but I had a certain kind of I don't know, a misplaced attitude, highbrow sort of attitude. But of course, I went back and revisited it and looked at some of the other films from Troma, and did the research. I've never met Lloyd, but I think that what he was doing was really fantastic in that a lot of times in the independent world, like if you think about, we got this, we got two awards, one in LA and one in New York, the Gotham Awards and the Independent Spirit Awards. And those movies, they tend to, the great movies. I love independent movies. I've been making independent movies my whole life, but they tend to be a little bit more kind of Oscar ready, drama. Um, they don't tend to be popcorn, crazy, wild kind of stuff. But he was
Yeah.
combining those two things, doing things very inexpensively and just irreverently and bloody and fun and you know probably just wild, in a way
Yeah.
that I really kind of admire because I like those kinds of movies. I especially like them now. I think I've sort of, as I've gotten older, I've sort of come to embrace them a little bit more. And there are, a lot of great directors that have come kind of out of those kinds of filmmakers,
Yeah.
the Troma thing or the Russ Meyer type world, or what I
Yeah.
mean. There's been a
Exactly.
lot
Yeah.
of people that have cut their teeth on. I mean, when you think about Spielberg, in a lot of ways, he was kind of a genre director, when he
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he started. Um, and so, I actually try my best nowadays and have for many, many years to keep an eye on that independent genre world, whether it's from Europe or from the States or Asia, uh, just because I want to, if there's a filmmaker there that seems to uh, show great promise, you know what I mean? I want to know that guy and be in on the ground floor.
Yeah. So what made you interested in this particular role?
Well, I just felt like he it would he was fairly specific, but there was also a lot of room from the way that Macon described it to play to come up with some crazy, stuff for who he actually would be. And I think that, you know, his narcissism is so out of control. And I think that, tapping into that for me is really interesting and fun. And the combination of he's kind of a televangelist, a
Yeah.
self-help guru, and a corporate billionaire all rolled into one. And there was a time when the billionaire class were very kind of hidden. You know what I mean? They'd stay in the shadows. There
Mm.
were, there were some sort of, very visible billionaires in the turn of the century or the 60s or whatever. But for the
Yeah.
most part, 60s or 70s, they were kind of behind the scenes. And
Yeah.
nowadays it's sort of the opposite. They're they are part of the brand of what they're selling. It's not that they're just selling cars or they're just selling oil. I think it's a tech boom, with these large, kind of personalities. And so to combine that with the you know insanity or the narcissism that gets people to separate themselves from their money was just looked like a lot of fun.
Did you drew any inspiration from real life billionaires or characters like that for the performance?
Yes, but you're not going to hear from me who it was.
All right.
You can use your
Um,
imagination.
yeah, yeah, of course. You also have a bit of a physical transformation in film. How long did it take to get in that monster makeup?
Oh, yeah, it was a process. I don't remember exactly how long, but it took a while. But listen, it's not like I was in it for the whole movie. Like I've never done that. Like the
Yeah.
closest I ever got to that was a movie called Hollow Man, and
Hmm.
for most of the movie, I was invisible, and you'd think that that would be an easy gig because I was invisible. But what I actually was I was green screen, so I was covered in either green paint or green latex and green teeth and green contact lenses and a green hood. And it's not that I did have a big prosthetic makeup in that, which was a latex mask, but I don't. I'm someone who starts looking at my watch the second I sit down in the makeup chair. Like I don't like to spend a lot of time in the makeup trailer. I mean, it's like I don't know because you're just sitting there. Basically, you'd think an actor would really love it because you just sit there and stare at yourself, you know. But yeah, it makes me like super, super antsy. So as of yet, I haven't done those kinds of parts. I mean, I think about someone like I don't know if you've seen Colin Farrell in the Penguin.
Yeah,
Oh my God. And he's amazing. It's like he's incredible.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but I think about the time that he spent in that chair. And then it's one thing to get out of the chair and have to wear that makeup all day.
yeah.
I don't know how he did it, but it wasn't so bad for me.
So how was the energy on set? Do you have any fun stories or other behind the scenes stuff that fans wouldn't know about?
Well, it was great. I think that one of the things that was really cool was that there was a whole lot of improvisation. And Macon is somebody who, he's got this great script, but then he's like, oh yeah, well, we could try this and we could try this and we could try this. So like when I saw the movie, it was funny because I kind of thought to myself, wow, there's so much that we did that's not in here. I'd love to see like the 3 hour version of the director's cut because everybody was just playing and playing and playing. I mean, he would get it the way it was written, and then we just kind of start riffing it. And so that was really, really fun. And Julia and Elijah and Taylor, they're all really like super, super good at that. So uh, I mean, it was an unusual experience for me. I'd never been to Bulgaria. I'd certainly never been to Bulgaria in the middle of a pandemic. Um, I went twice. I went back and back and
Yeah,
forth twice. So that was it's one of those times when you find yourself in some hotel in a foreign country making this crazy movie of it. It's like you go, my life is fantastic in terms of the adventure.
so this film is a remake or reimagining of an older film, and some of your older films have also gone the remake route, like Footloose and Flatliners.
Mhm.
Is there any other of your previous films that you think could use a reboot? And is there a movie of yours that you absolutely do not want to see remade?
Oh, listen, anybody can do whatever they want. I don't know. I'd love to see. You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see a new take on Dinah because I don't think that there's a lot of stuff made that is specifically about male friendship of guys in their 20s. And
Yeah,
I think 20s are a difficult time. Everybody says if you get past your teenage years, then you're solid. But to me, certainly for myself and also being a parent, I think 20s are difficult and complicated and sometimes confusing, a lot of pressure. And they're also, like I said, things that are specifically about men and their the kinds of friendships they have. They just don't get made that often. It's a
yeah,
lot of times there's buddy movies, but um, and so yeah, I think that would be cool. I'd like to see
yeah.
that. And in terms of that, I hope never get remade. I don't know. I don't think they should try to remake Apollo 13. I think that would be a very big mistake. That
I
would
mean, it's
be
a great movie, so
it's a
why?
great movie. I mean,
Yeah.
why try?